12 Palestinians shop at an open-air market near ruins of houses and buildings destroyed. Israeli attacks during conflict. In Nuseyrat refugee camp central Gaza Strip, amid a temporary ceasefire between Hamas and Israel November 30, 2023, Ibraheem Abu Mustafa receives licensing rights. Doha, November 30. While world leaders last week congratulated Qatar for brokering a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, negotiators have redoubled their mediation efforts, fearing the ceasefire is about to collapse before it even begins. The ceasefire and the accompanying agreement on prisoner and hostage exchange were loosely worded, according to sources familiar with high-stakes talks in Qatar, the Palestinian Territories Egypt, the tiny Gulf nations. Negotiators knew that Israel Hamas had not yet agreed on when how a ceasefire exchange would begin. A source with knowledge of negotiations said all points in the agreement need to be clarified and make sure they mean same thing for Israel and Hamas. For example, Israeli side had promised to park tanks it used in Gaza Strip, but source, who requested anonymity due to sensitive nature of incident, said that no one had agreed on what this meant on ground. Career diplomat Abdullah Al Sulaiti, one of Qatar's chief negotiators, was concerned. "I thought we would lose this and the deal wouldn't stand," he said in an interview. Qatari Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani has cleared his agenda by cancelling planned trips to Moscow and London to stay focused, a source with knowledge of the negotiations said. The source said Sheikh Mohammed launched a new round of negotiations a few hours after the ceasefire was announced at one of his offices in Doha on Wednesday afternoon, November 22. The Prime Minister's main meeting included Mossad chief David Barnea and a delegation of Egyptian intelligence officers who arrived from Israel for at least third time since the start of war. The source said the Qataris used a separate room to search for Hamas delegates staying in villa offices in the city. Qatar's foreign ministry told reporters that Hamas and Israel negotiated in Doha until the early morning hours of November 23 and agreed on a plan to implement the ceasefire agreement the next day. This account reveals the details of this important meeting, which lasted 9 hours and is described here for the first time. It also offers a glimpse into the forceful approach Qatar is using to accelerate shuttle-style talks between what one official involved in the talks called two parties with zero levels of trust in each other. Qatar's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the U.S. State Department and Hamas political office in Doha did not respond to detailed questions. For this article, the office of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who oversees Mossad, declined to comment. Not postman. The Qataris' approach mediation is be proactive and focus on negotiations rather than passing messages from one side another. A core